Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just gonna say I apologize that it's been so long since I've posted a video. I know it's been a while, like before the new year. So I'm so sorry, but I figured, you know what? It's 2017. I wanna go ahead and finally, this long overdue video, film my best of beauty for the year of 2016. So all of my favorite products are going to be in this video. And yeah, I mean, there's an assortment of things here. We got a lot of stuff that we have to talk about, and I really hope this isn't going to be like a 45-minute video. But I just want to say it feels so good to be back. And I figured, you know what, it's 2017, so I want to switch things up. As you can see, my background's entirely different. And you know what, I really love it, and I want you guys to let me know if you love it. My setup is different, my sound is different, this is a new lens, everything is brand new, the quality is better, everything's gonna be better. So yes, enough rambling, let's go ahead and jump into the video. If you wanna see what my top favorite products were for the year of 2016, then please keep watching. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and do this in the order that I normally would with my makeup. So we're gonna start out with primers first. Now, it was very difficult for me to just minimize the amount of primers that I have in this favorites video, only because, you know, our skin sometimes needs different things. So for example, if you want to pore minimize here, but then you want to hydrate here, you need two different primers for that. So I've got a total of 3 that have been like my ride or dies for 2016, and I still use them. So the first primer is from Becca, and this is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter Primer. And this is a great primer because it really hydrates the skin and makes your skin look so luminous and dewy and fresh. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful primer if you're looking for that nice, you know, dewy glow. So I love this, and I love the smell of it. I love the way it makes my foundation look. I love everything about this. This is definitely one of my favorite foundations, or excuse me, one of my favorite primers of all time. Now, talking about hydration, this next primer is the Too Faced Hangover Primer. And this is a great primer because if you suffer from really dry skin like myself, this is going to be your best friend. It's amazing at replenishing all of the hydration into the skin. And what I like about this too is that there's coconut water in here, so it's very healthy. Too Faced is one of my favorite brands. So I really, really do love this primer because it's absolutely amazing. And like I said, if you really suffer from dry skin like myself, you're going to love this. I'm really not so sure how this works on oily skin, to be honest with you, but for dry to normal skin, this is fabulous. And I use this a lot, especially in the wintertime, because it's very hydrating. Now, the last primer that I have is for pore minimizing. I found that this primer specifically is the best at minimizing pores. So this is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Primer. And it's such a beautiful primer because it's a smoothing primer. So if you want to smooth any fine lines or any pores or anything like that, this is great, especially too if you want to look presentable on camera or you have a special event you're going to. I always recommend pore minimizing primers for special events because, of course, you know, I'm sure you're going to want to take pictures and everything like that. So this is a great primer, and this will really help minimize the appearance of anything, really, of your pores, of your fine lines, of anything. And I also recommend this for mature skin as well. So great primer, one of my favorites of all time. All right, so next is foundation, and it's the same situation with the primers. Foundation, I got 3 different foundations as well, simply because they do something a little bit different, you know. It's just an excuse for me to have multiple foundations in this because I couldn't, you know, pick one. That's the real truth. So the first foundation that, honestly, ever since it came out, I have been obsessed with it. I love it. I've used it in tutorials. It's a great foundation. It is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. This is a water-based foundation. So this is going to give your skin that, you know, luminous, dewy look and that fresh look. And that's what I love about it. It's a buildable coverage. So it's medium to full coverage. You can definitely layer this and get a full coverage payoff, but it's really more so of a medium coverage. And it just looks beautiful on the skin. It makes your skin look like skin. It makes your skin look really healthy and youthful, and that's why I love it, because it really adds like a boost of radiance to the skin. So this is one of my favorite foundations that I've ever used in my entire life. So Tarte they killed it with this foundation. So now the next foundation is a drugstore foundation. And this is from L'Oreal, and it's the Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. Now, if you are on a budget and you still want to have like that luminous, glowing, dewy, you know, slaying look, then this is a foundation for you. I really like this. This is actually one of my favorite drugstore foundations. So this is going to do a very similar thing to what this does. This is just, you know, in my opinion, better, but this is going to still give you that nice luminous look. And I absolutely love this foundation so much. I really do. It's probably in one of my top 5 foundations of all time, but I use this like religiously in 2016. And now my last foundation is from Hourglass, and it's the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Stick. And so obviously I've shown you guys this before, but when you open this, see, it looks really interesting, but it's really fun. I feel like Van Gogh, like I'm painting my face. It's a really great foundation because it is full coverage. It's great on pretty much all skin types. And it's the one thing about full coverage foundations that I always get concerned about is it going to feel like my pores are clogged? Is it going to feel super heavy on my skin? What is it going to look like in pictures? You know, like, so these are things that I think about, especially with a full coverage foundation, because a lot of times it can be a little thicker. But with this foundation, it's really lightweight, yet you only need a little, and a little goes a long way. When I put this on, I blend it out with my beauty blender, and it just makes the skin look so beautiful, like you've been photoshopped. I'm not even kidding. So this is a great foundation, and I have been loving it for 2016. All right, so for concealer, this was not hard at all. This was actually very easy, and I only have one concealer. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you know that my ride or die concealer has been the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I was raving about that for the longest time. But then Tarte decided to just blow everyone out of the water with their concealer game and do the Shape Tape Concealer. And this is the best concealer I've used in my entire life. I am not over exaggerating. I am serious. I think this would be great on normal skin, dry skin, oily skin. It's great for all skin types. It's great for mature skin. It's just a beautiful concealer. And the reason why is because it's full coverage. It's very lightweight. And also, the one thing I really do love about this concealer is the applicator. So the applicator makes it really handy, because what I like to do with my concealer is I'll put like a few dots here, down the nose and on the chin area, and blend it out with my beauty blender, and it just looks great. And the great thing is too, because I have dry skin, a lot of times I find that my concealer will crease, but with this, I don't know what magic is in this little tube here, but my concealer doesn't crease. My under eyes look great and youthful, and they're brightened. And I love also the shade range is really good for this concealer. So this is the best concealer, period. Don't need to look no further. And if you haven't tried this, girl, try it. Go out and buy it. I'm not kidding. It's like $20-something. Listen, if you think that's expensive for a concealer, I do understand that, but it's so worth the money. It's so worth the money. So yes, go get it. Now, moving along to setting powder. So for the longest time, I was using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I like it. But then when I discovered this powder that I'm about to show you, the Laura Mercier has taken a complete backseat. And this is the RCMA No Color Powder. This is such a great setting powder because it's so fine. It feels like silk, and it doesn't make the under eyes look cakey. And that was my problem with the Laura Mercier. So honestly, that's the reason why I was looking for a new concealer, because I was getting tired of my under eyes looking so cakey, especially in the winter. So I'm like, all right, I need to find a new translucent powder. And everyone was raving about this, and I'm like, okay, let's see what the big deal is. Well, now I understand why everyone was raving about this, because this is such a good setting powder, and it brightens also at the same time too, which is what I love. So the only thing, like my only complaint about this is the applicator of it, like the packaging. I don't like this. I find myself wasting quite a bit of product because you have to literally put it out onto a flat surface. So that's the only thing I don't like, but I'm going to be switching this container soon to make it easier for me so I'm not wasting so much. But all in all, this is the only translucent powder that I use, and it's the best. Absolutely the best. Okay, so for brows, we're going to move on to brows now because that's usually what I do after I set my face. I go on to brows. And so for brows, I have two things. Now, this one, I'm going to talk about the first thing first. So this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Now, this has been my ride or die, girl, I don't even know, for such a long time. And I love this because it makes your brows look so natural and you can get the payoff that you want. You know, you have so much control with it. I love that it comes with a spoolie. I mean, it is one of the best brow products that I've ever tried. And honestly, like my favorite. I always grab for this. That's what's on my brows today. But also, I discovered this at like the end of December. So you know, I'm still going to include it in this video. And that is the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. Now, when I saw some other people using it, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a little ridiculous for me. Like, because it does, if you're not careful with it, it goes on very heavily and dark. And it applies like butter, which is great. It's so smooth and I love the texture of it, but you have to be really light-handed with it or else you'll end up looking like you have those Nike, you know, block brows. You don't want that. So, but it's great. It's great because it allows you to create those strokes of looking like you've got hair when you don't. And it makes your brows look defined. And I really love it because it is such a buttery texture and it's so easy. It glides on and it also shapes the brows too. So what I find like when I use this is my brows, like I don't need brow gel. They don't go anywhere. So this is a great product. All right, so now we're going to move on to my favorite eyeshadows. And I don't have like individual favorite eyeshadows. I just don't. Usually when I'm traveling or when I'm home or whatever I'm doing, I'm always grabbing for a palette all the time. I don't ever do like, it's very rare that I just do like single eyeshadows. So one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes ever is the Tartelette palette by Tarte. And it looks like this. And you guys, I'm sure if you've been watching me for a while, you already know why it's my favorite because it's neutrals and they blend out beautifully. They're all matte. And this is such a great everyday palette. You know, if you want to do like a really light neutral eye, this is going to be great. If you want to smoke it out a little bit and make it a little bit more wearable for like a date night or just a nighttime look, you can still use this. So it's a very versatile palette and that's why I really love it. And I always grab for it. I'm actually wearing it on my eyes today. So I absolutely love this one. Now, the next palette of mine that I absolutely love, and I am so sorry, but I have no idea where it's at, and it's the Morphe 350 palette. I know like in 2016, it was like Morphe's year for that palette because that was such a staple in the makeup industry. So I love it. You can create so many looks. It's like almost all warm tones. It's beautiful. And I'm so sorry that I don't have it so I can just show you, you know, and display it for you. But I have no idea where it is. Like when I rearranged the furniture in here, I was putting stuff away and I threw stuff out. Obviously, I didn't throw that out, but I can't find it. And I was looking for it before this video. So I am so sorry. But the Morphe 350 is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So since we're on the topic of eyes, I figured why not move on to mascara? And there's only one mascara that is my ride or die. And it's very difficult for me to stray away from it because when I try other mascaras, I always find myself coming back to this one. And the best part is it's from the drugstore and it is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. This is the best mascara I've ever used. I've used a lot of mascaras, a lot of drugstore, a lot of high-end brands. A close second to this mascara would probably be the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but still, this is better. This is better and it's drugstore. So it's a lot more affordable rather than, you know, spending your money on a high-end mascara. This just does the most beautiful job at making your eyelashes look like they're false. I am wearing false lashes on my eyes today, but if you are using this alone without any false lashes, your lashes get so long and so full and so wispy. And that's why I am always going back to this mascara. So ride or die, all the time I'm using this. Okay, so for the face now, I want to talk about some, you know, some contour and some blush and highlight, which is my favorite. So for the contour and bronzer, if you will, there's only one palette that I always use, and this is my second palette of this, and it's the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And you guys already see, like, I'm gonna need to get a new one soon because I've already hit pan on a few of these. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is, in my opinion, like the best highlighting, contouring palette ever that I've ever tried because everything is so pigmented. So I love it. I mix these two shades a lot, like to brighten up the under eyes, and I use these two shades. I don't use this one because this is of course too dark for me, but I use these two shades to highlight, to contour with, and they're just great. Like they blend out so well. The contour shade, it doesn't make your face look muddy or like you've been hit in the face or anything like that. Like it's just a beautiful, beautiful palette because I mean, it was really well done. They're so blendable and I just love it. I love it. I have not used anything else at all in 2016, but this. Like whenever I do my makeup, I'm always gravitating to this palette because it's just amazing. So now we're moving on to my favorite part of the face, which is highlighting, because obviously that's something I like to do. So, yeah, this was really difficult. You already know I was not going to be able to just, I don't know, have only one highlighter. It was not going to be possible for me. So my top three highlighters, I have one from the drugstore and two are a high-end brand. So the first one is from Anastasia and it is the So Hollywood highlighter. I mean, this is just, it's one of the best highlighters I've ever used. I mean, it's so beautiful. I'll go ahead and put a little swatch of this on my hand for you. So oh my God. So you can see it. I do have a little bit of it on my cheeks today. And with highlighters, I like to layer my highlighters. I don't know why. Well, I'm lying. I do know why, because it looks freaking beautiful and it looks like you're beaming from space. That's why. So, but this is, I don't know if you guys can see that. Do you see that? Like you see that shine? This is the So Hollywood highlighter from Anastasia. It's beautiful. It really is. It's a beautiful golden color. And I think that this is one of those highlighters that's versatile for basically any skin tone. Unless if you're super, super fair. If you're really, really fair, this may be a little bit dark on you. You may want to go for a shade that's a little bit lighter and not so golden, but more of like a pink undertone. But other than that, this will work for pretty much everybody. So it's a great highlighter and it just goes on like butter, honey. Now this next highlighter was like such a staple for 2016 and it is from Becca. And I'm sure as soon as I said it, you're like, I already know what you're talking about. And it is Champagne Pop. Clearly I like this highlighter a lot. As you can see, I've hit pan right in the middle. It's so beautiful. I mean, it is just a beautiful, I have it on today as well. It's so beautiful. I'll go ahead and do a swatch of this. And I don't know if you guys can see that because I did a really light swatch. Hold on. Hold, please. Oh, can you guys see that at all? Maybe? No? Well, it's beautiful. Take my word for it and take everybody else's word for it that is raving about it because it's a beautiful highlight. It's one of those highlights that like it's not subtle. If you want to beam from space, this is the highlight you want to use. Okay? This is the highlight. And the last one is actually, believe it or not, it's a liquid highlight. And I like liquid highlights simply because if I want to wear very minimal makeup, but I still want to look dewy and fresh and feel and look like I'm alive and still have a glow, that's what I like about liquid highlighters. I'll only put that on. I won't put a powder highlighter over the liquid. So this one is from NYX and it is the Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator in the shade Sunbeam. And I mean, hold on. This is, I don't remember how cheap this was, but it was cheap and it is so good. As a liquid highlighter, girl, so good. Yeah, so do you see that? Do you see that? Look at that. Are you kidding me? It's beautiful. It is. And it's a pink undertone. And the reason why I like that for me is like when I wear minimal makeup, I'm not trying to cake on the foundation. So therefore I want my highlight to look as natural as possible. I don't want to have two stripes right here and a stripe down my nose and a line here under my chin. I want to look like I'm actually glowing. naturally, as naturally as I possibly can look. So that's why I decided to go with the lighter shade on this one. But I mean, these NYX liquid highlighters are awesome. And a little trick too, if you really want to glow, then sometimes what I do is I will layer my highlight with a liquid first, and then I'll put a powder over it, and you're set. Like, for the year. All right, you guys, and that is the end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my favorites for the year of 2016. It was really difficult to narrow down. I know if it seemed like I'm all over the place in this video, then I apologize. It's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning here, but I was like, I want to film. Like, I want to be back. I want to be here, and I want to be with you guys. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Seriously, hit that subscribe button. You will not be sorry. And also let me know what you guys think of this new setup. And I want you to let me know in the comments down below what your favorite products were for the year of 2016, because I'm always interested. Like, I'm always snooping on my comments. Like, I wonder what their favorite products are. I wonder what they're saying. So I love keeping in touch with you guys. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, everything. I'll have that in one of these corners right here. And also keep on the lookout, because I will be filming a part 2 to this for the worst products of 2016, like the most disappointing products of 2016 that I personally tried for me. I am going to be filming that very soon. It's unfortunate that that happened, but I did ask you guys on Twitter if you wanted to see me film that as well, and everyone was like, yes, I want to see what products you didn't like for 2016. So I will be filming that too, so keep on the lookout, because that will be after this video. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and keeping up with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!